Hello and welcome to the Money Compass.
In each episode, we will be preparing you for your journey through the world of finance and helping you tick off the destinations on your financial itinerary.
Pack your bags and prepare for takeoff as you navigate your way to financial success.
So today I'm joined by the lovely Louise Barker from Recruitment, and it's lovely to have you, Louise.
Oh, thanks for inviting me, Emma. Nice to see you.
And you. So I'm wondering if you can start off by telling us a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, so I work at Recruitment in Norwich, and we are based in Castle Meadow, where all the buses drop off, and I deal with recruitment. So it's a very, very busy time, obviously, at the moment with everything, everybody's crying out for staff. So I basically deal with the office side of things. So it's temporary and permanent, and it is all sorts of, from support staff through to executive. I've also, at the beginning of COVID, because things obviously went very quiet, I also gained a new client, and I've got into supplying cleaners as well. So that's been quite interesting. That's kept me busy throughout the majority of the when people weren't working in the office, when they were working from home. But I've kept it going. So, and I actually quite enjoy it. So that's good. But we also deal with factory and warehouse and driving jobs as well. Kate covers that desk, although she's today on holiday, lucky Kate. So I'm taking over the reins for that one. So watch this space, see how I do. It's all busy at the moment. It's just, I've never known anything like it, if I'm honest. I've been in recruitment many, many years, and it is just so hectic. Everybody's looking for staff, aren't they, at the moment? It's just a sign of the times.
And it's not a surprise you're busy if you cover so many different areas as well. Factory workers, drivers, cleaners, office workers. There's a little bit of everything there. So spinning all the plates.
The only things that we don't really get involved with is we do the admin side of care homes, but not actually the care side, and also hospitality. We don't do either on the chefs, waiting staff, that kind of thing. But apart from that, we can deal with all sorts of roles. Yes, it makes it interesting, quite varied, and never a dull moment. That's for sure.
I can imagine. So what got you into recruiting to start with?
Well, that's a very interesting question, Emma, because I didn't really plan to. I started off my career in working in hotels for Trust House Forte, for anybody that can remember Trust House Forte as it was. You're too young, Emma.
I apologise.
Yeah, so I started off working in hotels. It was a really fantastic hotel chain. And then I went and worked in Australia. This is years ago, too many to think about actually. And I went over to Australia, didn't have a job, and I just walked into Kelly Services in Sydney on Pitt Street, and I just said, I need a job, please. And they said, well, actually, we need somebody here on reception. So I took that job, and I was there for not that long. And then they said, actually, Louise, we think you'd be pretty good on the temporary desk. We need somebody in there. So I quickly moved from reception to recruiting. And that's how I got into it, basically. They just gave me an opportunity. They just thought, well, let's give this girl from England a chance. And I absolutely loved it. I have to be honest, I love where I'm working at Reef, don't get me wrong, it is amazing. I'm very, very lucky to have this opportunity to work at Reef, and we all get on really well. We're a lovely small knit team. But honestly, at Sydney, my desk, the view, I've got a view of the castle, so I can't complain too much, but my view when I worked at Kelly Services was of the Opera House.
Oh, wow.
Harbour, literally, it was just there. It was amazing. And the job was, I still keep in contact with the lady, Rosie, that I worked with actually. And we just had an amazing time. It was just super busy, and it was just so fast paced. I had loads of temps out, and loads of people that were from the UK backpacking that used to come in and just needed some, money, do some temp work to support their travelling and, seeing Australia. So that was a really, really good opportunity for me, and I stayed there for it was about 3 and a bit years, I think it was actually, and then came back to the UK, and I got another job let me think, I think that was in Kent actually. That was in Canterbury, that's right. It's a place called Future Recruitment. And yeah, that's how I got into it basically. And I haven't stopped, apart from having my children. I took some time out then. But apart from that, yeah, I've been in recruitment all that time. So a long time, Emma.
What brought you back to England then? If you had this opportunity in Australia, why come back?
Well, lots of people say that. And yes, I absolutely had an amazing time in Australia. I loved it. Everybody was so welcoming and the weather was lovely and had a fantastic opportunity. But I'm quite a family orientated person. My grandparents were getting older, as we all do. And my sister was going to get married. Well, she did get married. And so we just thought, let's come back, see my sister get married, spend some time back here and then go back. That was the plan. But actually, I think that we just missed our family so much.
And it wasn't until you got home, I suppose, you realised it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I absolutely had an amazing time in Australia. I've got really, really fond memories. I'm so glad I did it. But if I'm honest, I absolutely adore Norfolk. And I just think it's got so much going for it. I don't think I'd want to live anywhere else. Yeah, so Sydney or Norfolk every time for me.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad we've got you back here.
Thank you, Emma.
You're more than welcome. So you said obviously now's a very, very busy time. What trends are you seeing at the moment with kind of employers and employees? What are people looking for?
It has changed so much. I've never known anything like it. I think that because of COVID, people's attitudes have changed. They've kind of looked at their work-life balances and they've just wanted to have total career changes. They're wanting to work part-time or they're wanting to work nearer their home. They're wanting to work either in the office. Some people actually prefer to work at home. Yet lots of people are wanting to, there's a split. Lots of people love working from home. And lots of people, actually, me included, like to come to the office and work. I just personally prefer to get into the office. I'm more focused when I'm here. There's no distractions here. I much prefer it. But people, they've just kind of thought, what do I want? They've just had that time to reassess their life. And it's not necessarily all about money. They're wanting something that is working nearer to their home or the opportunity of working from home or whatever it is. They're just reassessing and also what they are passionate about, what they really want to do on a daily basis. So that has really changed. I have to say, I've seen a huge difference. I think also employers have realised that they've got to be a little bit more adaptable and think about what people are looking for. Adapt, really, if I'm honest, because it has been everybody's had an unusual time, haven't we, recently? So everybody's attitude towards how it's been has changed. You've just got to be a little bit mindful of that as well. Everybody's different.
Definitely. So what value do you think that recruiters bring to an employer?
I think that it takes away the strain. When you are recruiting, you're going to get loads of people that you put on a job ad. Lots of people, it's quite time to go through those job applications, speaking to everybody, going through. So you're actually filtering so that the employer has got more time to literally do what they do best is within their business. So we're kind of streamlining that. It takes away the hassle. And at the end of the day, that if I send you a CV, if I've spoken to and interviewed a candidate, that they are interested in the job, they know all of the details, I've gone through everything. And actually at Reef, we'll only send you candidates that we are confident about. We think, yes, we're not just going to chuck CVs just for the sake of it, just to bring up the numbers. I'd rather say to somebody, I've got one good person or none. If I'm honest, if there's nobody available, I will not send somebody that I'm not sure about. Because sometimes people will say things to us because they think we're not going to pass it on.
Yeah.
So, whereas obviously I want to do the best for both the candidate and the client. So I'm not going to send somebody on if I know that ultimately they are only wanting a part-time job and they're going to take this job until they find the right thing. I'm not prepared to do that. So it just streamlines everything. And it's just, I think, with also from the temporary side, for example, I've got a cleaning company. They will say, right, Louise, I need 15 people for Friday. And if they, for whatever reason, don't need all those 15 or they need more, it's one call and I've sorted it all out. So it just is so easy. And, they might call me up and say, I've got 6 people off today of our own staff. Louise, can you please find me 6 people? So, and I'll just do it. So as long as I've got those 6 people, obviously.
I was going to say, that's incredible. You can do it at that short notice.
I know, but they do. I mean, I was out the other day, 8 o'clock in the evening on a Friday. I get a text saying, help, I need 2 more staff for tomorrow. So I'm quickly texting around and getting, the 2 extra people for him for the next day. So I think as well, I really appreciate that. It's hard at the moment and things change, and I'll do all I can to make sure that their business is running smoothly because, we understand what it's like. We've all been there, and we know that obviously people are ill, things happen. So if I can help, I'll do all I can, even if it's 8 o'clock on a Friday and I'm already out.
They might be slightly drunken messages that people get, though.
I know. Well, that's the one thing, Emma. I do kind of like, yes, once I've had a few drinks, I'm like, no, I must not look at my phone. I must not do anything because
it could be dangerous.
Yes, it could be dangerous.
Have a lorry driver to turn up for a cleaning job or something.
Exactly. Yes, but I think I've got to have a little bit of fun as well.
Most definitely. So, where do you go to kind of find candidates for these positions? How do you find them?
Well, we use all the job sites. So we'll obviously post ads and also word of mouth through social media and through networking as well. So I go to networking events and I'm a member of BNI. So I go every Friday to BNI. My boss, Mark, there, he goes to a couple of networking events. So quite often we'll put an email out or a message to everybody, or when we're actually at the networking group, we'll say, we're looking for somebody to do this particular job. And it's amazing how many times somebody's like, oh, yes, I know my friend's partner, or I know this, and it's quite good when it's somebody that you know as well. That's been recommended. So yeah, that's mainly how we do it. It used to be before COVID, obviously we'd get lots of people walking past and coming up, because obviously we're in Norwich city centre, but not so much now. I mean, it's getting busier and busier, obviously, in Norwich now. People are, it's going back to how it was. So yeah, so we've got a good location as well.
So was it easy for you to adapt to the pandemic, to be able to cater for the new requirements that people were looking for, or was it a kind of a difficult step for you?
Well, initially, because I dealt with office staff, it was like, obviously everybody was in lockdown, everybody was working from home, lots of jobs were not happening, people were furloughed, so it was extremely quiet initially. It was, and I hated that. I like being busy, so it was really, really hard for me to not be busy and to be at home and not coming into the office. So that was hard, but gradually it kind of like just evolved, and we've just learned to adapt and have Zoom interviews, and clients have obviously been having Zoom interviews, and it's just been, actually, it's been fine. And I think there's some things that will probably continue because it's made it so much easier, saving people having to come drive into Norwich, park, come up here and have an interview with me. We can do it on Zoom, and it's made it,
and streamlined the process, I suppose.
It's been brilliant, and especially if somebody's already in a job, it's hard to take that time off to come into the office. So it has been much better, and obviously I can do Zooms, early in the morning or later on after hours. It's not a problem at all. So no, it's actually, I think we've adapted pretty well, if I'm honest. Yeah, I do.
Good. So from what you've kind of said so far, what I've read into it is a lot of the businesses that you work with are kind of bigger businesses that have lots of employees that are going to need 7 or 8 staff. Do you work with smaller businesses as well, or?
To be quite honest, we prefer smaller to medium-sized companies, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah.
So because we're independent, I mean, lots of the larger companies, they prefer like a larger company that's got different all over the But because we're independent, we can think outside the box. We can adapt. And if I'm honest, smaller to medium sized is better for us. Yeah. Although we can supply, as I said, I've got a cleaning company at the moment, and sometimes they'll need, as I said, busy times, 15 staff a day. But, we can do all sorts.
Fantastic. So if a kind of small business owner came to you, so it's maybe a relatively small new company, but they're looking to take on kind of their first member of staff, but they don't really know what they're looking for. Obviously, they've got an idea of what they need them to do. Would you help them to be able to kind of narrow that position down and being able to advertise it? Or do you expect someone to kind of tell you exactly what it is?
You know what, we especially Mark, he loves it when it's a new company that's thinking about taking on maybe their first member of staff, because I think as well, because we're an independent company. Mark set up Reef, it's about 11 years ago now, but still we remember like it's yesterday how all of the decisions that you have to make and all of the money that you're spending, and having to make that decision to pay somebody is, there's a lot to think about. And obviously it's a big expense to take on a member of staff. It's a big commitment.
Yeah.
So actually, Mark especially is brilliant at understanding all of that and can go through everything. And also, because again, we're independent, Mark is very good at any new company can go through the whole stage and also take the strain out of it. And also, he has in the past said, look, we'll develop a little bit of a payment plan to make it easier for you if you prefer that. So we're always open. We're always happy to help. It's a big, as I said, a big commitment taking on a member of staff. So, we're happy to help and support and go through everything, and also come up with different options, and happy to help with job descriptions. And so more than happy. Love people starting up a new company.
It sounds like you're so supportive of it as well. How you can obviously create the payment plan for people that obviously is a huge expense for them as a new business.
Yep.
That sounds like a really lovely thing to be able to do.
No, I mean, I must admit that was Mark's idea, and it has worked out brilliantly for a few people, because as you know, when you're starting up, you've got so many things you've got to pay out for. It's really hard, and cash flow for any business, no matter how small or large, is tremendous. So if we can help in any way, Mark does. Yeah, he's really good like that, I have to say.
Brilliant. So if any of our listeners wanted to get in contact with you, they might have their own business and they're looking to recruit someone. What's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
To either give me a call or to email me. Shall I give out the main number?
You can indeed, yeah.
So it's Norwich 01603 752545. That's the main Reef number. Or you can email me at louise.barker@reefrecruitment.co.uk. Or you can go onto our website and you can contact us via there. But the best thing is to really give me a call and have a chat and take it from there, really.
Fantastic. We're going to put your email address in our podcast description as well. So if anyone wants it, they'll be able to get hold of it easily.
Thanks, Emma.
Not a problem. So the final thing I'd like to ask you before I let you go and get on with some work for the day.
Right.
As the Money Compass, we always like to ask this question. What is your favourite holiday destination?
Oh, well, at the moment, anywhere that's hot. I've not been on, there's lots of people, I've not been away. Anywhere that is like hot, got a beach and a swimming pool, and I don't have to cook or clean, basically. So
a little piece of heaven. Yeah,
absolutely. So the place that I really am wanting to go to, and I know actually it's one of Julia's favourite places, is Rhodes. I'd love to go to Rhodes. That's one place on my list. Another one that actually is not necessarily hot and beachy, is Budapest. I'd love to go there, not been.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the two, if I'm honest, but I think that next year we might be going to Portugal. Fingers crossed, if we could get something booked up. I think that's where we might be aiming for our first summer holiday for, I don't know, is it 2 years?
Too many years.
Yeah, too many years. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, just a nice chill and get some sun. That'd be terrific.
Sounds like heaven. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Louise. And I'm sure we'll have you back again in future to have another chat about recruitment and how things have changed.
Yeah, brilliant. Really appreciate the opportunity. Thanks, Emma.
Thank you. And with that, we've completed today's episode. We hope you have enjoyed following along with us today and taking another step closer to a financially secure future.
If you've enjoyed today's podcast, you can head over to themoneycompass.co.uk where you can find out more information, hints and tips from today's episode.
If you'd like to get more involved, share your own experiences and learn from a friendly community on a similar journey to you, why not join us in our Facebook group, The Money Compass, where we will support you in navigating your way to financial success.
Thank you for listening and see you next time.